Good morning. Hello everyone. So today we are going to start a new chapter in our course book. Fine. And which is that chapter? That is chapter number 8, The Bell of Atri. Okay. Now this chapter Pushpanjali ma'am is going to read out and I'm going to send you the list of the new words. Those new words you have to write down in your English notebook very neatly and very nicely. Okay, fine. So now let's start reading this chapter. It is on page number 92. Clear? Now let's read this story about a horse that was treated badly and how it was helped. Okay, so it is a story about a horse who was treated really badly and how it was helped. We'll come to know as the story proceeds. Atri is the name of a small town in Italy. It is a very old town and was built on the side of a hill. In the middle of the town, there is an old tower, and in the tower, there is an old bell. This bell has not been rung for many years, but it is still there in the tower. Many tourists visiting Italy go to Atri to see the bell. Why do many tourists go to Atri to see the bell? It has a strange story to tell. So now in this first paragraph, what is there? It is telling you that Atri is a very small town in Italy and it is a very old town which is built on a side of a hill. Now what is there in the middle of the town? In the middle of the town there is a tower and in that tower there is a bell. Okay. And that bell was not rung. It has been many years that the bell has not been rung. Clear? Now, many tourists, the people who visit Atri or the people who are there, even the locals or even the people who are coming from some different area, they visit Atri to see the bell. What was the strange story about that bell? Let us find out. Long ago, the bell of Atri was used for a very special purpose. Okay? People who wanted to complain rang the bell. The judges came to the marketplace when the bell rang. The judges were the old wise men of the town. They listened to the complaints and helped the people. Many people rang the bell and many wicked people were punished. But there was one trial that was unusual. Fine. Now what happened? The bell of Atri, that bell which was in the tower, that was used for a very special purpose. What was the purpose? That purpose was that people who wanted to complain, they rang the bell. And who were the judges? The judges were the old wise men of the town. Yes. So this is how the complaints were heard and the wicked people, the clever people or the people who cheated, they were punished. After listening to the complaint, the judges used to solve the case and the wicked people were punished. But what happened one time? One time a case was such unusual, very strange that no one could believe. What was that? One day the rope with which the bell was tied broke. Okay, children, we also ring the bell whenever we went to the temple. We always rang the bell and there is a rope because the bell is at a height. We pull the rope and we rang that. Fine. So in the same manner, the bell also had a rope, but that rope broke. There wasn't a thick new rope in Atri. There was not a thick new rope in Atri. To get a rope from another town would take about 2 weeks. Okay. Fine. So the judges had a grapevine fixed to the bell. Now what is a grapevine? That is a vine or a creeper on which the grapes grew. Fine. So because the rope broke, and to get a new rope from another town it would take about 2 weeks. So what did the judges do? The judges took a grapevine and fixed it to the bell, so that if anyone wants to complain, they can move the bell or they can ring the bell. There was a rich merchant who had an old horse. The horse had served his master well for years. When the horse became old, the merchant drove him out. No one took care of the horse. No one gave him food. The poor horse kept wandering from place to place. Now, what happened? That there was a merchant, and his horse was old. Now that horse, when it was very young, it served his master very well. But because now it was old, what happened? That the merchant drove him out. The merchant threw him out of the house. Okay. No one took care of that horse. No one gave him the food. And the horse kept moving from one place to another place to another place. Now, one day he came to the tower. Seeing the grapevine, he started to chew and pull at it. Now what happened? Because it was hungry, no one gave him food. So when he was walking and walking and walking, he came to the tower and he saw that a grapevine is there. So that horse wanted to eat that grapevine. Okay, now he started chewing it and pulling it. As he pulled the vine, the bell started to ring. The judges came to the marketplace at once. To their great surprise, they saw a horse pulling the grapevine. What did they see? That the horse is pulling the grapevine. One of the judges recognized the old horse. He told the other judges that the horse belonged to a rich merchant. Now what happened? That the horse was just chewing because it was hungry. It was just chewing the grapevine. And in the process of chewing the grapevine and pulling it, the bell started ringing. Now because the bell started ringing, the judges came to the marketplace. And what did they see? They saw that a horse is there and that horse is pulling the grapevine. Oh my God! Now, one of the judges, they recognized that this old horse belonged to a rich merchant. That merchant, he was knowing it because Atri was a very small town, so most of the people, they know each other. I think the merchant drove out this poor horse as he had become old, said the judge. Now, one of the judges said that, okay, I think that the merchant must have done something wrong. He must have drove him out, and that's because that horse became old. Since this horse has come to make a complaint, now because the bell was ringing, they thought that the horse wanted to make a complaint. Said another judge, we must find out the truth. Okay, we must find whether the merchant has ill-treated the animal. Ill-treated means misbehaved with the animal. The merchant was called to the marketplace. During the trial, he confessed. He accepted. Confessed means accepted. I drove out my old horse. The judges decided he had done wrong. Now what happened? That to solve this case, the merchant was called to the marketplace, and the merchant, he accepted that yes, I have done this thing. I drove out my old horse. And the judges said that you have done something very wrong. Take the horse home and take good care of him. Feed him well. They also fined the merchant. Now what happened? What did the judges say? The judges said that take the horse home, take good care of him, give him the food, feed him well, and they also fined the merchant. Fine means they also asked him to pay some money. The horse returned to his old stable and the merchant took great care of him. So by this, we complete this chapter. Wasn't it interesting? Wasn't it interesting to know that the horse he just wanted to eat that grapevine, but because he was eating and pulling the grapevine, he was pulling that, the bell rang, and all this procedure, it led the merchant to carry that old animal back to his own stable. Fine. So now ma'am is going to send you a list of new words of this chapter. You are going to write it down in your English notebook very neatly and very nicely, and in our next video we'll be doing the question answers of this chapter. Okay, till then, bye bye.